Okay, we can go ahead and get started. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sam Aparicio. I'm the senior graduate recruiter here with UTRGV. It is a pleasure to be with you guys this evening. Joining me today is our program director, Dr. Mukbel, who is another really great resource for you guys. We'll be talking to you a little bit about our program today. Dr. Mukbel, would you take a second to introduce yourself, please?
Oh, thank you, Sam. So I am the founding director of the Master of Science in Business Analytics, and I have been teaching data analytics and business analytics actually in the past 10 years, and I'm really glad and happy to go through this session with you and to answer any questions that you might have.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. McBell. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our presentation this evening. We're going to be talking about our Master of Science in Business Analytics and our Healthcare Analytics specialization. So with that being said, let me go ahead and share my presentation with you guys, and we will get started. So in terms of our platform today, we're using GoToWebinar. A lot of you may be familiar with Zoom or Microsoft Teams. If this is your first time using GoToWebinar, feel free to take a second to familiarize yourself with the panel here on the right-hand side. You'll notice there is a questions box where you are more than welcome to submit any questions that you might have throughout our presentation. And we will take some time at the end of our presentation to talk a little bit about those, to address those, and to help with anything, any doubts, concerns you might have about the program. Now, in terms of any links that I might send out, you'll also see there's a chat section. I can definitely go ahead and send those in if you guys have anything in particular that you need more information on. So today we're going to talk a little bit about our university as a whole. We'll talk a little bit about UTRGV and what sets us apart from other institutions. You know, why would we want to choose UTRGV for our graduate program? We'll talk about how to apply as well, the application process, how to submit your required documents, and what kind of documents are going to be required for this program. And then we'll talk about funding opportunities, things like financial aid, scholarships, ways to help fund your graduate program. And as mentioned, we will open it up for Q&A at the end of our presentation. So we're going to start with a little bit about UTRGV. If you guys are UTRGV alumni, or maybe alumni from our legacy institutions, whether that be UT Pan American or UT Brownsville, you have a little bit of a background in terms of you know the university. But if you are not familiar, not an alumni, UTRGV, even though is fairly new, has a pretty long educational history from our legacy institutions, such as UT Pan American, which was founded in 1927, and UT Brownsville, which was founded in 1991. We're excited to say that we're just under 32,000 students in enrollment. The university has grown tremendously fast in the last couple of years, which is awesome because we're able to give access to a lot more students. So in terms of our graduate college, our enrollment is just over 4,800, and we're really excited. Like I mentioned, we've grown, we're continuing to grow, and we're glad you guys are here, interested in becoming a part of our graduate college. Now, as an institution, we are fully accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges, rather long acronym, but really what that means is we are a value-driven institution. We really pride ourselves in being able to offer an accessible and yet high-quality education to our students here in the Rio Grande Valley and across the world with our online programs as well. So specifically for our Master of Science in Business Analytics, this program actually is offered in a very flexible format, which is the accelerated online format. Now, for those of you that are new to the accelerated online format, the way that it's formatted is basically through 6 modules per year. Now, these modules are basically 7-week-long mini semesters, if you will. And if you're attending full time, you're basically taking 2 courses per module. Now, we do also offer the opportunity to take classes part-time, where if you want to take 1 class per module, you can certainly do that. These courses are offered fully asynchronous, so you can do them 100% remotely. There's no specific scheduled lectures or meeting times or anything like that. So as long as you're submitting your assignments by the due date, this gives you a lot of flexibility to work at your own pace. Now, Because you're able to see so much more content in a condensed amount of time, you can complete this master's program in as little as a year. So once again, not required. If you want to pace yourself, you're more than welcome to do so. But if you're like, hey, you know what? Let me just knock it out in a year. If you attend consecutively full time, you can complete your master's in business analytics within 12 months. So I want to hand it off to Dr. McBell to talk to us a little bit about the Robert C. Backer College of Business and Entrepreneurship, the AACSB accreditation, which is one of the really important aspects of this program. So take it away, Dr. McBell.
All right, thank you very much, Sam, and thank you all who attended this session. So our College of Business is housed, or our Master of Science in Business Analytics is housed at the School of Business here at UTRGV, and our School of Business is accredited by AACSB, International Accreditation, which actually is given to only 5% of school businesses worldwide. So we are in that elite of school businesses. And this accreditation speaks loudly about the quality of our school business, the quality of our programs in the school business, the quality of our faculty, and the quality of our students and courses. So this is a great privilege to us, and our faculty as well as our programs have received a lot of excellences and awards statewide as well as national-wide. So the next slide, I would like to go over. Oops, I would like to go over this graph, which shows kind of the exponential increase of data that has far outpaced a human's ability to understand and make sense of this data. So as a result of this exponential increase of data, a lot of organizations have been struggling to find skilled workers who can help them translate this raw facts or this data that has been piled up in their database management systems, so that to transform them into useful information that can help them improve profitability, improve efficiencies, reduce wastes and costs, and at the end of the day, the use of data analytics is to improve the bottom line, which is profitability, right, for any organization, and improve efficiencies and effectiveness. As a result of this increased demand for skilled workers who have background in analytics, data analytics, and business intelligence, artificial, just kind of to name alternative ways that you might have heard about this program. So we call them business analysts, data analysts, machine learning specialists, just kind of to name some of those new roles that have been popping up by companies. So for example, let's look at the next slide, and you will see some of those new roles that have been advertised by major companies. So if you would allow me to move to the next slide. Yes, thank you. So you will see that the new roles that have been, and when you graduate from our program, you will be eligible to apply for those positions, including data analyst, data scientist, artificial intelligence specialist, machine learning specialist, big data specialist, just kind of to name a few, right? So you are going to be eligible for those positions. And those are the new roles that our program tries to address and to prepare you to be able to manage and handle. So we all hear about business analytics, and we hear that many people use that term business analytics exchangeably or interchangeably with data science, with machine learning, artificial intelligence, and so on, and big data analytics. And at the end of the day, all of those names mean transforming raw facts into useful information that can help in improving decisions at the end of the day to improve the bottom line, right, which is profitability. And in our program, we call it business analytics, but you can you are going to be a data scientist. You are going to be a business intelligence specialist because you are going to go through all of those skills that you will need to fit into those titles. So our program has a couple of outcomes. So when you graduate from our program, you will be able actually to solve problems in various industries, not only limited to healthcare or information security or consulting or banking and financial industry, but in so many ways, because the skills you are going to learn in this program are transferable. So no matter which industry you are in, you are going to be able to excel and contribute. So the second outcome after you graduate from our program, you will be able actually to master cutting edge information systems, including analytical tools such as R and Python, Tableau, SQL, this kind of to name a few. And R and Python, they are actually on the top of the list of programming that is required for data analysts, for data scientists, right? And then Tableau, you are going to get the chance to use Tableau and learn about Tableau in the data visualization course that I personally cover, and we provide our students with free licenses to Tableau. As long as you have the .edu email, you will have access to Tableau. So the third, you will be able to solve important problems using data mining, text mining, machine learning, social analytics, and enterprise analytics. So let me just mention what we mean here by machine learning. So we hear this term a lot in the media and what it really means. So from its meaning, machine learning, so the machine learns from data that we feed it with, historical data that we feed it in. And then it learns, the more we give it more data, the more it learns better and becomes better and better at prediction and doing what we want it to do, right? So machine learning can be divided into what we call supervised learning versus unsupervised learning. Supervised learning is when we have a target variable that we want to predict. So for example, that let's say that you work at the university foundation center or department, where they try to collect donations from alumni who graduate from the university. And let's imagine that we have more than 100,000 alumni from our university, that the foundation or the university foundation wants to send mail requests for them to give donations to the university for scholarships for our students and so on. So imagine 100,000, and imagine that if we think that $1 per mail and return mail, and we have 100,000, so that means we are going to spend 100,000 just on sending the mail, but we don't know who will respond and who will not with the donation. So we can utilize supervised learning, machine learning, by actually looking at historical data and looking at the characteristics of those alumni who donated when we solicited them with our mails, right? So then we can pinpoint it to the most profitable, you can say, or the most likely with highest probability who are going to donate, return that mail with big donation. So we can limit it instead of 100,000, we can limit it only to 1,000. So we will spend 1,000, but we will get the best buck for our bang, right? So we will get a very high return in that investment. So that's what we call it supervised learning, when we know the target variable, right? Whether they will donate or not, right? And then another example, when we talk about unsupervised learning, which includes market basket analysis, clustering, and market basket analysis or association rules, all of us are actually using it. When you go to Amazon and buy a product, you will get a message in the bottom: people who bought this product also bought this product. So we call it association rules, right? Or market basket analysis. So let me give you an example of a super center in the Midwest region of the United States, where they utilized market basket analysis and data mining analysis. So they found out that actually after they run this association rules, that the sales of baby diapers and the sales of beer were highly associated. People who bought beer, they also bought baby diaper, and vice versa. So they decided to go a little bit, from predictive analytics to do some diagnostic analytics. So they wanted to see why is this the case. So they found out that actually those who are buying baby diapers and buy beer, they are young adults who just had new babies, and now they, they can't go to the bar after work to drink and have fun because they have a baby they need to watch for. So they go to the super center to buy that baby diaper, and they say as well, I will buy a bag of beer and then I will drink at home while I am also enjoying my time with my child, my child. So then they said, okay, this is a great finding, this is great use of analytics, but what is, again, the most important thing in analytics is the bottom line, right? How can we improve profitability from this finding? So what they said is that the best way to increase sales in both products is to do product placement in the same location. So now, if you go to Walmart, so this story is not about Walmart, but if you go to Walmart, you will notice that the baby diapers are in the back wall of Walmart, of the store. And then next to it, you will notice that there is that beer and alcohol aisle very close to it. So now when they put them closer to each other, the sales of both products went up, very highly up. So this is kind of just some of the use cases of data mining, of machine learning, kind of how to convert that into raw facts, into insightful information, into insights, into profitability. And then you will also be able to, you will be skilled in data selection, data collection, data preparation, and storage, because that's actually data preparation that takes the most time from a data analyst and from a data scientist, right? More than 75% is just spent on data preparation, integrating that data. And then data storage, you will get exposed to relational database, how data is stored and how you can retrieve it. And then data visualization as well, which is now you might see some new roles are called the data visualization specialist. It's just a role by itself. And then the last one is effectively and persuasively communicate your data-informed conclusions. So this is what we call it, data storytelling. So after you do all of this hard work of preparing the data, doing the analysis, now you need to convey that story of your analysis to your stakeholders. And that skill by itself, that's an art and science actually of data analytics. So in the second slide, or in the next slide, I will take you through an example. Let me see if it will let me move. Yes, this is kind of it will take you through an example of a life cycle of a data analytics project. So this is an example from healthcare industry, where actually we start from the bottom up. So from the bottom, we can see that we have data sources from different data sources that we need to integrate. And we integrate those different data sources coming from our transactions, database management systems, from human resource, from social media, from credit card companies, from and so on. So all of those data sets, that we need to integrate them in a process we call it ETL, or extract, transform, and load, into a data mart or a data warehouse. And then that data warehouse, we want to make sure that it meets the security protection measures. And then when we have that data set that is combined, integrated, and ready for analysis, then we can run our own analysis, whether it is ad hoc queries, like for example, what is the average age of our patients in the past month in our emergency room, right? Just an example. how we can use that data set to run ad hoc queries, create dashboards, create business intelligence reports, do some predictive analytics using machine learning, and do some visualization, simulation, and so on. All of those tools are used to solve a business problem. So on the top, you will see that analytics use cases. So we need to have a business problem that we need to solve using all of those tools and skills. So an example of it in a healthcare is fraud detection, right? If we are working in an insurance, we can actually, insurance company or health insurance company, they can benefit from all of this in detecting fraud. So then you will notice that the software that we cover in our program includes R, Python. Python is shooting up really high because it's an open source software like R, which is meaning it is free and it's available, and companies appreciate the skilled workers or skilled data analysts who know those two languages, because you save them at least 1,000 something per license instead of using SPSS or SAS, those software. So we cover also SQL Server in data warehousing course, and we cover SQL Server in my course where I teach retrieving data through SQL or select statements. And then we cover Tableau and advanced Excel. We have actually at the advanced data modeling course just on advanced Excel features. And you will not believe it how many features Excel has that we don't use. And actually 75% of companies up to date, they use Excel as their main tool for analytics. So it is still very important. And that's why we still cover it in our program. So in this slide, you are looking at the degree plan and the courses that we offer. So the classes on the top that don't have a star in front of them under course number, those are the core courses. So we have 7 courses that are so in total we have 11 courses for the whole degree, and 3 of those courses are electives. So as you can see in the bottom, we have a lot of elective courses that start with a star or asterisk next to them. So you can actually decide which courses you want to take. But if you want to specialize or get a concentration in healthcare, so then you will have to take mandatory electives, which includes health analytics, tools, methods, and applications for managing healthcare data, and health computer information systems courses. So those are mandatory elective courses for the healthcare concentration. And then the rest are the core courses, which take you through foundational statistics, takes you up to speed with stats from scratch using the R language, which will be used in other classes as well. So my recommendation for students is to start with the statistical foundation course first, because it's offered in all modules. And then there are some other courses, for example, here, developing customized solutions. That's where Python and R both are covered. And then courses that cover machine learning, which prepares you to be a data scientist. Data mining course also prepares you to be a data scientist. And then we have social media analytics. That's where it covers text mining. And text is phenomenal when you see how now we can use text for analytics, for prediction. And that's in that course. And then the business intelligence data warehousing course, that's where you do that ETL and integration. Then the decision optimization, that's where we do the prescriptive analytics. So we have descriptive analytics, we have diagnostic analytics, and we have predictive analytics, and we have prescriptive analytics. So that's the optimization course, where you have different resources and how to optimize the resources to maximize your outcome, right? So that's what we do in that course. Then you have data visualization course, where we cover Tableau from scratch, and then we have the rest of the elective courses. So now I will give it back to Sam. So thank you, Sam.
Thank you so much, Dr. McBell. So now we're going to go ahead and transition into the application process and how to start your application, what you're going to need, and things of that nature. So for starters, the first step in the process is always to go ahead and get your application started, right? Our application is actually internal. Many of you who probably, who went to school here in Texas probably remember doing Apply Texas for your bachelor's degree. So with us at the graduate level, you're no longer working with Apply Texas. Our application is going to be found at utrgv.edu/grad apply. Friendly reminder, we actually don't have an application fee for most of our programs. So specifically our business analytics program, there's no application fee required. So, make sure to take advantage of that. You can also apply for more than one program if you're interested in several. You do have to stick to one, of course, but if you find, hey, I'm interested in business analytics and there's another one as well that I like, you can apply for more than one as well. There's no problem. So in terms of application materials, what are we going to need for this program? Number one is going to be all academic transcripts for your coursework in higher ed that you've completed. So while you were doing your bachelor's, if you attended more than one institution, make sure you're submitting your transcripts from all the institutions that you've completed coursework at. Now, in terms of if you have a master's degree, keep in mind you have to submit that as well. In terms of letters of recommendation, we only require one letter of recommendation for this program. And for that one, when you're working through the application, the way that it works is all you have to do is input the email address of the person who you would like to write you a letter of recommendation. They'll receive a link with instructions on how to write you that letter, and it's a fairly simple process. There is a requirement for a personal statement or your letter of intent, which is really just you talking about what your goals are, what you intend, why you intend to pursue this program, and what you see yourself doing once you've received that master's degree. You'll submit a copy of your resume, your CV, and then you do need to take either the GMAT exam or the GRE exam. Now, these exams are basically just your entrance exams for programs at the graduate level. It really kind of just depends on, which one you are more comfortable with. Both of them are available online. So the GMAT, if you're interested, that one is accessed through mba.com. And the GRE is accessed through ets.org. So either one is totally fine. You don't have to take both of those programs. Now, in terms of documents, that's pretty much all you'll need. Once you've submitted all of those documents with your application, then your application will be complete. This program accepts applications for both or for all fall, spring, and summer semesters. And because our program is 100% remote, like I mentioned, there's more flexibility in terms of being able to complete your coursework. So if you have any questions about the application process, let me know. I'm happy to help. If you have, additional questions later on, once you start the app, I'll share with you guys my contact information at the end of this presentation. I'm happy to kind of guide you through that process. So yes, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So if you don't mind, for our program, we have some waiver for GMAT GRE. And those waivers actually can be applied if your GPA is above 3.2 in your undergrad, or if you already have a graduate degree from anywhere else. So then your GMAT will be waived for you. And then also for your GPA, I believe the graduate college has a 3.0 as a requirement for GPA. But if your GPA is below that, please feel free to reach out to me and I can talk with you to give you more options on how we can mitigate that. But I will be here to help.
Thank you so much for bringing that up. I appreciate that. Yes, so Dr. McBell was mentioning typically what they're looking at is that 3.0 GPA or higher in your last 60 semester credit hours for admission into the program. And so again, if you have questions about that, definitely reach out to Dr. McBell. Which we'll share his email address as well at the end of the presentation. But yes, thank you, Dr. McBell. For the waiver, we actually do offer waivers. If you're at a 3.25 GPA or higher in undergrad, you could be eligible for a waiver. We'll be able to see that once you submit your transcripts. There's no separate documentation you have to submit. Once you submit those transcripts, Our admissions processing team will be able to see what your GPA was in your last 60 credit hours, and if you do meet that criteria, they'll go ahead and remove that GMAT or GRE waiver from your list of required documents. And of course, if you do have a master's degree as well and from another institution, that would also qualify you for the waiver for that GMAT or the GRE. So in terms of the application, this is what the application looks like. Once you get here at utrgv.edu/grad apply, you'll see the drop-down menu down below where you'll go ahead and select, number one, the application type, the semester that you wish to apply for, and then the specific program. So it's a fairly straightforward process. Once you've selected your program, you're going to go ahead and create your account. This is where you'll set up your username, your login information, you'll set up a password. Once that's created, you can go ahead and move forward with the application process. Now, once you've started your application, you don't necessarily have to finish it in one sitting. You can save it and come back and pick up where you left off. And then once you've submitted your application, you can also come back into the self-service center here, where you'll be able to look at any pending documents that you might be missing, or even your application status. Any updates to your application status you can find directly as well within our self-service center. And that can be found at utrgv.edu/self-service. Now, in terms of cost of attendance, one of the things that we pride ourselves in is being able to offer an accessible, high-quality education without you having to break the bank. Now, because this program is offered in the accelerated online format, tuition is going to stay the same regardless of your residency status. So if we're looking at tuition per course, you're looking at about $1,416 per course. And if you are taking 2 courses per semester, which is the most that you can take per module. Sorry, 2 courses per module, not per semester. If you're taking the 2 courses per module, you're looking at about $2,833 per module. So overall program cost, you're looking at about an estimated cost of $5,583. So once again, we're really excited to be able to offer this online program where regardless of your residency status or where you're at, the tuition is going to stay the same. Now, in terms of funding, maybe you're wondering, well, what can I do to help fund my graduate program? So if you are a US citizen or a permanent resident here, you can actually apply for financial aid. It's just a matter of submitting your federal application, or sorry, your free application for federal financial aid, your FAFSA, if you will. For this one, you can find it at studentaid.gov. And keep in mind, in order to be eligible, you will need to have clear admittance into your program, and you will have to enroll in a minimum of 6 credits per semester. So in this case, if you're doing the accelerated one, the business analytics, you can take 1 course per module, which is 3 credits per module, which you'll still end up taking 6 credits for the semester in order to be eligible for financial aid. In terms of scholarships, we have a scholarship application at UTRGV, which is just one centralized application. It's a 1-page profile you have to submit, and that one's found at utrgv.edu/apply scholarships. Fairly simple, shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes to complete the application. And once you've completed it, that will put you into consideration for a number of our scholarship programs. So our scholarships committee looks at your application profile as a whole, so they pretty much do a holistic review. And if you do qualify, you'll be contacted and you'll see in your award package that you've been offered a scholarship with UTRGV. We also have more opportunities for like enrollment incentives this year, which you can find at utrgv.edu/grad scholarships. Now, for those of you that might be interested in doing an assistantship with us, a part-time job with us here on campus, we do offer assistantships for students that are enrolled full-time. You can find assistantships available either through our careers website at careers.utrgv.edu, or our program coordinator, which in this case is Dr. McBell, can definitely get you a little bit more information as well on assistantships that we have available for the term that you're applying for. These jobs typically are administrative if you're working as a grad assistant, but the university also has grad teaching assistantships available and grad research assistants available if that's something that you might be interested in. You're typically working about 20 hours per week, And if you're working the entire semester, you're getting paid approximately $5,000 per semester. So that's another excellent way to help fund your graduate program. External scholarships are also a good thing to look into, guys. A quick Google search can help you find, what external scholarships are out there. My recommendation, apply to as many as you can. If you're a veteran as well, or a dependent of a veteran, and you have active benefits, we have staff available who can help you process your paperwork, whether that's Hazelwood Act or the GI Bill, any of those, we can definitely help you process that paperwork as well. And then if you work for a company that you think might offer tuition assistance programs or anything like that, make sure to reach out to your contact and see if what you need to do, what criteria you need to meet in order to be eligible for those. So just a couple of options that you have for graduate funding. If you guys have more questions about those, let me know and we'll be more than happy to help. So with that being said, I do want to share our contact information with you guys here. You'll find my contact information as well as Dr. McBell's. So if you do come up with questions later on, you can always reach out to us, shoot us an email. If you have questions about the application, I'll be your go-to contact. If you have questions about things like course registration or course contents, Dr. McBell will be your go-to contact for those. Our Grad Central team is also available in case you guys have questions about, your online student bill or course registration or even your application status. Our Grad Central team is also available. Feel free to take a screenshot of our contact information and reach out to us if you have any additional questions. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this evening. I know that everyone has very busy schedules, but it's been a pleasure to be able to chat with you guys and share a little bit about our business analytics program. Dr. McBell, thank you as well, for all of your support. I do appreciate you spending time with us to kind of also help us get familiarized with the program. Other than that, I think we're all good to go. You guys have a wonderful evening and take care.